Welcome back. On Tuesday, the 11th of April, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Abubakar Mahmood SAN, formally inaugurated the Technical Committee on Conference Planning of the NBA 2017 Annual General Conference at a short ceremony held in Lagos and attended by some members of the National and Branch Exco. AB Mahmood SAN charged the committee members to deliver a world-class conference.
As we all know, the NBA annual conference is probably the highlight of our calendar of activities every year, and the Constitution demands or requires that we hold our annual general conference sometimes in August, I think the last week of August, and we're a little bit late inaugurating the committee, but that is not to say that no work has been done towards the conference planning itself. So I'd like to, in these short remarks, give some context. Once it became clear that there are few places that can really comfortably accommodate our conferences at the moment as things stand, we started gravitating, and these few places would be Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. I'm not saying other places cannot, but especially given the size and the logistic requirements of our conferences, we zeroed down on these three places. And Lagos obviously became the likely candidate, having been in Port Harcourt only last year. Abuja, of course, is an option, but we thought perhaps Lagos may be probably more appropriate at this point. We haven't completely wrapped that up, but we are gravitating towards that. And so I consulted Professor Kwenshol Ajayi to see if he can accept to take charge of this very onerous responsibility.
The chairman of the committee, Professor Kwenshol Ajayi, talked about the extent of work done so far and what more needs to be done for the committee to achieve its mandate.
The President is concerned that we're getting as many people from government as possible. We're getting people like Mrs. Billy Osage, who never attends, NBA conferences. We want people like her to attend. He wants a cross-representation of the bar to be present, not just the people who come to bar conferences year in, year out. You remember his election talked a lot about representation and regulation. So he wants representation to be real, and so he wants as many of us as are in the bar to be present. But then beyond us as members of the bar, the people we serve, the consumers, our clients, he wants them to be present because these are the people we serve. So we can't just be talking to ourselves. We must be talking to the people that we need and the people that need us. And a conference where our colleagues from different parts of the world will attend. So we intend to have a conference that rivals and betters IBA conference. Already we have a conference that is bigger than the IBA conference, but we now want to make it better than the IBA conference. Our conferences cost between 300 and 500 million. And I've then spoken to the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, I've spoken to the accountants, I've spoken to Society of Engineers, Economic Society, and I've gotten an idea of what their conferences cost, and it's 300, 400, 500 million. Now, what we want to save money, but we want to raise the bar. And we want a brave new bar. We want a much better conference. Provisional figures, giving account of inflation, is up north of the figures that we have already. So we're now looking about 750 to 800 to 900 million. So we have a lot of work to do.
Members had questions and suggestions for the committee. There was also a question on the court judgment voiding the NBA constitution and the continued stay of the Exco in office despite the judgment.
Yes, we are aware of the judgment which nullified all NBA constitutions in the last, since 2001. Obviously that's a very important matter, and we've been engaging with leaders of the bar. I've had a meeting with some of the trustees, and we're having a formal meeting once the Abuja airport is reopened to discuss this judgment and to find a way around it. In the meantime, the Bar Association has appealed that judgment, and there's also an application to set it aside on the ground that the action was improperly constituted, having sued wrong party instead of the corporate trustees of the Bar Association. So we think this is very disruptive, obviously, and we shouldn't allow it to detract us from what we're doing. We understand the need to respect court judgments, but we've been advised that once we've made an application and also filed for a stay, we will not be technically in contempt of that judgment. But hopefully, well, there's also another judgment which has been drawn to my attention, which said exactly the opposite about the NBA Constitution. So these are part of the challenges which I hope we should be able to overcome. And I don't want us to allow this to distract us from what we're doing, or what we're trying to do. Hopefully, we should build enough consensus in the bar to address these important challenges.